Alright, Taki. The hottest girl in the game, ruined by her boring personality and condescending attitude. Wait, matchup knowledge, right? So, her basic AA string, if you're really quick with it, you can actually get the lethal parry, and of course the wall messing you up. But if you just block it low, you can at least get the launcher. Now the reason you'd want to block it low is because the kick version of the basic A string will let you crouch, but if you try to do something silly like press the parry, you're just going to get hit. The problem version of this is the AAB version. I don't really know what the answer is supposed to be, except to just mash guard impact. But that's probably going to lose to both the other options. So if you try to sidestep, you get hit. Obviously you get hit for crouching. Even if you try to use B plus K, you get hit. You just kind of gotta hold it. But you can get the guard impact in there. And as you can see, you can't really do anything about it on block either. You can go for that, I guess. Sig doesn't really have a lot of 16 frame vertical options. This is just showing if you try to mash impact there, you're going to get hit. If you do it against the A string, it comes out early and you get counter hit instead. So, Shadow Shrine. I feel like I just changed something, but I didn't see it. As you can see, it's minus 16. If I could just stop being bad for a second, there we go. Simple enough. The just frame version is also punishable, except I'm bad. One of the ones you might want to buffer. Now the incentive not to do that is she can cancel this into both of her rolls, and if you will just go right over her head. You can go for something like that, but if she does the hell of B plus K, it's just gonna trade. You can kick her out of it safely, but if she just does the regular roll, that'll whiff. So up to you. And then of course she's got the side roll also, which, yeah, not really gonna do anything about that. If you see it, you can just smack her. I honestly don't have much other advice for this bit. You can punish the lunge with the kick. And if you really feel brave, you can get behind her, and then run up and go for a back throw. You gotta actually run up behind her to go for the back throw though, unless she does it from really far away for some reason. Alright, so lightning scroll. Not bad. It's a mid-horizontal, right? And it's a safe mid-horizontal to boot. But the real danger of it is she's got this completely safe mid that you can get behind her just by walking. But if you try to do that against Lightning Scroll, you're gonna get hit. So you gotta see the 6A, take one step, and then block. That's what I recommend, and then go for some kind of pressure. She also has her possession stance out of this, and you can, I would recommend just doing the same thing, because course I'm silly. She can also get you with a quick horizontal out of that, but spoilers for later, it's reasonably punishable if I'm not bad. Just go for that for now for demonstration purposes. So you cover 2 potential punishes and have 0% chance of getting hit if you just take that 1 step and then block, versus if you get greedy and try to, I guess, kick her out of it, right? Because as you can see, B4 B6 doesn't work. You can also go for that. But if you do either of those, you're just gonna get stabbed. It's up to you. If you feel like you've got the hard read on the horizontal, you can go into base hold or just kick her. The kick might also catch possession. But base hold, it's anybody's guess what'll happen next. If she's slow about it, you can go for base hold K or whatever. Wind scroll, it's got pretty decent startup, so you can try to react to it with guard impact or something. But it's safe. I think it's maybe -10 or something, so just do that kind of thing, or you know, the tournament classic. 2A is a very standard 2A, safe, but you get the big guard impact off to make up for it. 1A is one of those rare launch punishable lows, so make sure you capitalize that if you see that. Capitalize off that if you see it. And you can also go for that, but you honestly get more damage just with the standard. That said, so this is plus on block. Don't mash afterwards. You won't get a punish, and she will probably hit you. But the second hit, you can duck and punish. She can go into possession out of this, though. I think, just kick her or whatever, but I think she might actually be plus there if she does transition. She's actually -2 here, so you can just kick her and pretty much stop anything. If you're feeling a little braver, you can also go for just that and fish for a counter hit. She can also transition into possession after the whole thing. Oops, wow, completely wrong move. Sorry. So as I was saying, she can transition into possession after the whole thing. But you should duck that second kick anyway, so it shouldn't matter. She's -2 if you do block the whole thing, and she possession cancels, I believe. Unlike being +2 for the regular Divine Judgment. Crouching A is standard 2A again, still safe, still big guard impact. 3AK is an interesting one. It's a double low string, and it's -4 on hit, and if the first hit hits you, you can actually still block the second hit and get the kick punish. But this has killed me because I got overzealous and tried to punish the first hit before. So careful, it's a 2-hit string. Alright, while rising, triple. Oh, if you feel like a god, by the way. I don't think you can actually react to that, but be my guest trying. One benefit you have is whether she goes for the crouching 3A or the rising A, you still get it. So if she goes for the full rising string, you get a nice punish there. She shouldn't commit to that except on a hit, but if she does, if you get a matchy autopilot Taki, feel free to just destroy her for it. She can possession cancel that, and that's what a lot of them will probably do. I'm pretty sure that's -2 again. And I mean, the first hit is still just as unsafe. So during jump A is a tricky one because it's a low out of a jump and it's safe on block. And if you try to read it with this, sometimes it's still too slow. Because you have to kind of see her land to know it's the low and not some other move. So that's basically a read. If you want to react to the landing, you gotta do the jumping K to punish instead. You recall. And then facing away A, facing away down A are basically the same moves as regular A and down A, but with the turning around startup in the middle. Okay, moving on to vertical attacks. D-Mac, you sound bored. I am bored. I'm labbing all Saturday. So, you see 5B, block low afterwards. Not during, but afterwards. Because it'll make that whiff. And the second hit jails anyway, so it won't hit. Let's see. Kick or something to interrupt that possession, it's -2. This one you guard impact. Oops. If that wasn't bad. Like so. So you'll notice both BA and BB strings jail. One thing to be aware of is if you're trying to guard impact that third B and she does possession, you'll just get baited. But you're making both oppression and shadow banishment whiff. And you're safe if she possession cancels by crouching those first two, or crouching during the second hit, I should say. Yeah, that's about it. So moving on to 6B. I messed up. It's supposed to be B6, not 6B. But I'm bad again. So this string is really annoying and that play tactics love it. So you want to do B6 and it'll interrupt it every time. You do have a pretty decent amount of time to react to that, by the way. Like I'm actually waiting until I see the lightning second hit start to come out and then pressing B6 and it lands as a counter hit. Like I said, that's the favorite of every net play Taki, it seems like, so be ready to interrupt that, because obviously the guard break explosion is going to be plus on block. Some Takis will actually go straight into the same hit a second time. Alright, so spread wing. It's regular launcher, and you'd think it's -14 because of it, but actually you get your full lethal hit AJ punish. And you may say, D-Mac, why did they make a launcher -16 and let you get away with that? Well, it's because of this. She'll just hop right over your head. But let me show you something amazing. Oops, I'm bad. If you block that first hit, and then you tap G to turn around, except I'm apparently really bad, you can face towards her and still get the punish. There it is. So that's pretty useful. Not only that, but all of the vertical attacks where she cancels into the hop, you can get away with the same thing. I haven't tried it on non-verticals yet. This is a really standard, safe 2A. Like most really safe moves, you can get a nice big guard impact off it, but there's really not much to say there. Except that she can actually cancel into her little chip damage horizontal afterwards. That little chip thing is -12. You can also try to go for the read and crouch after you block 2A. I don't think she can actually cancel into that out of crouching B. So if you block crouching B, not necessarily a crouch afterward situation. She can also do a little chop raw. It does chip damage, that's all. Just kick her afterwards. But she can go into possession afterwards. But you can still just kick her and it'll interrupt anything she does out of possession, I think. Yeah. So she's also got this. It's a low into possession. But you'll just get the counter hit rising B if she tries to do anything out of it on block. On hit, you probably have to hold that though. Alright, so lightning scroll. Oops. Another chip damage string. This one not -12, instead very punishable. Oh, it's so bad. Getting tired, I guess. However, that looks a little too simple of a string to be -16, doesn't it? Especially when you can just duck the second hit. Which, by the way, I would recommend doing because she can possession cancel this. Now, if you just test it in training mode, you may see, wow, I'm terrible, sorry, that the AGA does still hit before she can block, but she's actually plus on that possession cancel. I think almost every other one she has is -2, but this one... And just to show you that that's not me being late on the input, here's a regular AA. Yeah. If you suspect that's what she's going for, then probably don't go for the AGA punish. Normally I'd say just always crouch the second hit if you can react to it in time, and if not, then go for... go for something 14 frame. So that'll get you a counter hit, as will your B6. Pretty standard unblockable. Big fiery vertical thing, only thing to really note. If you get overzealous with the punish, you can miss. You also want to wait for her to hit the ground so you get the lethal. Because you're wasting a lot of damage if you just smack her out of the air like that. While crouching B is basically the same as 2B, but like I said earlier, I don't think you can string out of it. While rising BB, however, this one, if you're not familiar with the string, can catch you because the second hit is a low. Don't, see that first hit and think it's 2B and try to do pressure afterwards or something. Make sure you block both hits, although, yeah, obviously smart players might stop after the first hit. If you get used to blocking the low there. So, this is another one where she can do the cancel, right? And again, it's gonna take me a minute to get it right. But as you can see, it's punishable even if she does that. Sorry for being bad. It's actually quite difficult. There it is. So yeah. Whether you want to go for that or just back chief hold cancel like I did the first time is up to you. Her jump string here is kind of notable because it's the same as her while rising string. Also, if you think it's below, you're just gonna get hit. It's really hard to distinguish that from below. So maybe better to just block when you see her jump and get ready to punish the appropriate string. Just for a quick comparison, here is jumping edge. It's not a lot of time to react there. Therefore, what I have done in the past is just react to the jump with 3B. Still not really guaranteed, but it's pretty nice if you get that counter hit. She can also do the rainbow cancel here. And like the other ones, you can HA punish that if you time it right. I mean, I guess technically the input is GA. That's kind of what makes it awkward. There it is. And yeah, her facing away moves are basically just slightly slower versions of the facing forward once again. Alright, kicks. A lot of Taki players absolutely love to throw out kick strings for days when they get desperate or at low health. It's not a bad plan, honestly. When you see 5k, just start crouching. You don't really have much time to whiff punish, but that's the idea here. You really don't have much time to whiff punish. I could swear she used to have a mid follow-up to this, but maybe I'm thinking of another character or another game. She's got possession cancel, but doesn't really have much that's going to outspeed you coming out of that. And then she's got the low, which is not rising B punishable. But yeah, it's high, low isn't really a mix-up per se because you just crouch the third hit either way. I'm not really sure what the utility of that is. Once you know the matchup, it feels like a little gotcha thing at most. The high string is safe at the very least, though. Alright, so then there's Thunderfall Kick, which is not punishable, but you can sidestep it. It's kind of hard to get away with the cheap hold here, so I would say honestly just sidestep. If you're already moving, you can maybe react to the cheap hold, but as you can see, it's rough. You have to pretty much anticipate, so I would say if you're reacting, go for a back throw here. It also tracks pretty well if you're already moving in the picture. So straight up, you have to be still, and then move, and then throw her. So this, it's that same little chip damage jab, same 5k punish. And just like before, she can possession cancel it, but if you're blocking, you can just kick her out of the possession either way. So just kick when you see that little jab on block. This is plus on block, and it does a lot of guard damage. So when you see her kind of wind up a kick there, you want to get behind her and go for the back throw probably. It takes a bit of walking to actually get the back throw. So So you want to step this way, because if you step this way, it's a lot harder to get away with. Again, that's plus, so if you do end up blocking the little crotch kick, just hold whatever comes next most likely, because you're going to get hit for mashing. This, don't really get anything if you block the full string, but strongly recommend guard impacting the second hit. If you try to guard impact the third hit, you might get baited by the roll there. And on top of that, she's got this stupid little lunge thing out of this too. Again, you can kick punish if she does the lunge. It's -12. But, you know, if she catches you trying to guard impact, you get sort of a punish there at least. I don't know. But obviously she can go into that roll, delay slightly, and wreck you for trying to guard impact there as well. You can also just duck though. I'm not sure I'd recommend that since the third hit is a mid, but since I didn't show that in the other string where she can cancel into the little hop kick, whatever you want to call that, I figured I'd show it here. 2A is a very standard 2A. It's negative on hit, it's rising K punishable on block. The only difference is the crouch isn't really visible, so it's almost like a standing low. Really, really hard to block at 16 frame, kinda standing low at the end of the match. Alright, so this one. This is the low mid, but you can dash out of the mid if you block the low. If you do try to punish the low, she's going to counter hit you, which is kind of the point of it. And also, you can't walk out of the mid for some reason. I think it's because you're stuck in the crouch animation. So you actually do have to dash after blocking the low to get the punish. I forget exactly what this is on block, but I'm pretty sure it's 0 on block. And Taki has a lot better 12 frame options than Siegfried. So, if at all possible, you want to dash out of there. On hit though, you're stuck. See, no dash available, and that leaves you +0, but you can block afterwards, so go ahead and do so. This is just a pretty normal string, rising K punish it. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about it other than you can guard impact there, because it looks kinda like the mid string startup. Oh wow, some slowdown here, huh? So because it looks similar to a 6K, it just go ahead and guard impact that second hit and get a better punish than rising K. Or at least, I mean obviously they can re-GI, right? But that leaves you plus, and the rising K gives no knockdown, so how much risk you want to take, right? While crouching, see, she actually rises up a bit if you look at her head there. But this is still much more obvious than the standing version. Alright, so here, this is a low mid. But there's no reason to keep blocking after blocking this low because you get this sweet little punish. The rising K actually leaves her back turn if she goes for that, and then you can get the back throw on top of it. If you do block the second hit, I forget, I think it's -12. Yeah. So it's much better to just rising K punish the low when you block her 3K. Do not, her crouching 3K I should specify. But yeah, do not confuse that with 1K, where she'll counter hit you for it. While rising K is just kind of is what it is. It's a safe unblock mid, but it leaves her negative, so do what you want afterwards. Her jump string. This one, no worry about reacting to a mix-up, because it's just like a straight-up hotcake into a string. What you gotta react to is as soon as you see the hotcake, you gotta get on the ground. As you saw there, if you get overzealous, the third hit can actually beat you out of rising B. So just ever so slight hesitation is to your benefit there. If you block the full thing, I forget what it is. I think it's safe, yeah it is. So, yeah. Just rising B after the low. She can possession cancel, but it's like -10 or -12 even with cancel. So your rising B is still basically guaranteed here. If she's mashing super hard, you might end up with a counter hit, so be ready to react to that and get the proper confirm. And then her away K and away down K. Away 2K is just a 2 frame slower 2K. And yeah, away K is just a mid kick. I don't believe it's particularly punishable or special. Yeah, I don't know. It's only -2, so actually even doing rising A like I did there is kind of a risk, because that's 18 frames. I don't really know what the proper follow-up is after blocking that. Moving right along to dual button attacks. We start with Ninja Cannon, the classic Ninja Bomb. I don't know why, but training mode is glitched for this, so you absolutely can't actually punish that. In fact, it's +2. The one thing you can do is for the jump. You can also try to sidestep. It's inconsistent, but if it works, you can get behind her for a back throw or something. Of course. She kinda tech crouches, so that might miss as well. The risk to using the jump approach is if she goes for this one, she just knocks you out of the air. You can kinda go for a late jumping A. But both jumping B and jumping K get interrupted. But if you block it and she goes for this follow-up, you can always tech crouch the little chip damage jab thing she does afterwards and rising B launcher. Just like the regular version, she can cancel into possession. It's pretty much a combo tool in this particular case, I assume, because, like I said, if you block it, you're always gonna accidentally duck. But if she catches you out, she can probably combo right there. Same as before, jumping A though. Counters all 3 options, I think. Let me test with regular Ninja Cannon really quick before I let you. No, it will miss, okay. So yeah, no matter the case, this is kind of a cheesy mix-up between 2 block strings, I guess. can also go for just jumping them to block, but even then you're going to get caught by the A follow-up. If by some weirdness you do block the A follow-up, of course, it's your regular 5k punish, just like all the other little Mekimaru jabs. Alright, so then she's, yeah, this. It's always kick punishable. And if she goes into possession, the kick will just happen to counter hit her out of it. Then she's got this. It's not really sidesteppable. It's a projectile, so you think it was, but it's not. If you do a really late cheap hold spin, you can dodge it though. Maybe early, depending on your perspective. Alright, yeah, early. Misspoke. But if you do it too early, then it still hits you. So go for this. For this, the only reason you want to go into the stance is because sometimes she doesn't come forward, so you can close in with base hold advances. Sometimes she doesn't even do the projectile. In this case, it's probably pretty risky to try just landing, but if you so choose, go for it. Alright, Fog Blanket. This one's kind of weird. She flops on the floor if you don't block it. What you probably want to do is sidestep and 3 beer. Everything else is too slow. If you block it though, she runs away, so I'm not really sure what, like, if there is a blocking punish. As you can see, she gets really far away. Really far away. You can also empty her if you're very quick on reaction. That's better up close, where you just 4A. You can also spin out of the way, but you usually won't recover in time. Yeah. You just get the forward cheap hold B. You're not going to get the behind the back launcher, even though you're spinning in a way that you'd think you'd end up behind her, right? So Seal. Just sidestep. You don't really have time to cheap hold this one, but you can just get behind her. Easy enough. Safe, by the way. Poison Dart. If she's brave enough to just throw that out at you, it's -16. It's pretty quick. But you do get the lethal punish. Oh, yeah. Oh, are we already? We are already here. So facing away moves. First off, I guess this must be a special, but not facing away B plus K is this thing. If she's not attacking into it, it's not really a punishable. But you can 4A anti-air if you time it right. It's actually fun. So far away you can do that. If she's close, she's just gonna go over your head. Like so. So you can catch her with it, but you don't get the lethal. So I would do this or something. Right. Now facing away, right? Sorry. So, which one did I record? Yeah, I think that's facing away B plus K. She does a really weird scream, and you can back throw her out of it. The other one facing away 2A plus B. Oops, sorry. 2A plus B.
Stay down. Stay down.
It's still that.
Stay down.
And the answer is still get out of the way and you're ready. Once she's down, she does have this. It's the same as facing away 2A plus B, just back throw punish it. Next up, we have the much longer 8-way run and special move sections. Alright, moving on to Taki's 8-way run attacks. This first one is safe right off the bat. And it jails, so you can't duck between hits. You can take a risk and duck in reaction to her walking forward like that, running forward. Or if you think you're really nice, you can base hold the reaction for running forward and get some serious punish. What else? It also, despite being a somewhat telegraphed move, gives you a nice spread impact. She also has this version that goes into possession. Obviously, all of the aforementioned tactics kind of work here because you're getting the first attack to not hit rather than trying to punish after the second. She can also possession cancel after the second, which just makes it easier if you do duck it successfully, and if you don't, I mean, just react to the stats, I guess. I believe that's -2 like most of her other possession cancels, if not worse. I will double check that after this, though. Piercing Wind. This is a weird one because she steps one direction, hops the other. So you can try to duck and punish, but it's pretty inconsistent. But sometimes you do get something magical. I'm going to try and create that for you here. It's hard to do. Close. It's from rising just as the attack comes out. You'll somehow get this. There's a nice 94 damage. But that's really hard to do. It's not really a consistent option. Sometimes you get a normal, and sometimes you get this awesomeness. You can also just wait and then rising K if you want a completely consistent option. Since you saw I was having a bit of trouble getting that first Rising B punish to work. She has the same thing in the opposite direction as well. You can still just react to the crouch and then try to punish. The consistency of the options is about the same as it ever was. You can also go into stance and all kinds of weird things happen. Right? It's a weird move to react to and punish, honestly. Piercing Wind also cancels into possession, but because all of the punishes I was listing are whiff punishes, all that really does is you can get a consistent Rising B instead of just a consistent Rising K. Really quick, just showing it safe. Alright, Bamboo Cutter. This is a weird one. It's kind of like backstepping big horizontal. You can sort of react to it, but it's too fast to really react to. So it is one of the ones you get a level 3 guard impact on. So if you can see it in time, just duck. Yeah, not much else to say about it. Then there's Assassin Strike. Now this is a really weird one. See, far away, she makes a deeper scream and you can lethal hit punish, but up close, she does this annoying noise here. And if she does the annoying noise, it pushes you out of punish range and it lethal hits. It lethal hits on crouch, notably. You can't really chief hold it, but you can just step it. I missed the proper punish there. So if you're close and she starts that, just step around her, go for the back throw. If you're far and she does it, you can block and get the lethal hit, so don't worry about sidestepping. Unless you're bad like me and miss the timing all the time. Illusion Scroll is just a 5k punish here. If you're stepping the opposite direction she is, you can kind of react with a chief hold spin, but if you're stepping the same direction, it's a little harder. Like so. Really thanks to the chief hold spin invuln, you can get away with it either way, but it's kind of an already stepping thing and not a react thing, as you can see. Like so. Alright, Cursed Talisman. This is this annoying thing. Ooh, Baku, right? It's harder to react with the B6 punish when it's not out of a string, but you can just go around it because it's not out of a string. That's just the second hit of it, the break attack. Like before, it's gonna leave her plus, and there's not really much you can do if you don't react before that first hit. If you block the first hit, I think it actually jails with the break attack. This is a lot more punishable than it looks. So yeah, I think it's actually minus 18. Just take your lethal hit. Now this is also lethal hit punishable. However, wow, I'm bad. I'm really sorry. Sleepy D-Mac. There it is. I don't know. I could have just showed you 5AA, right? You would have believed me. You can also you can't interrupt between the two hits with IAGA. You can use 4A, and that will interrupt. You can also use B6. Why would I use a worse option, you ask? Well, card break. This, if she doesn't do anything after it, is minus 14, so the 4A will still hit. Note that B6 still hits here as well. You also get... Wow, I'm bad. Like I was showing off before, you can use guard to turn around and do the GAGA. Or you can use this. Again, how would I use the worst option? Well, because she can do the annoying roll cancel. So if she rolls, this whiffs, and this whiffs, but this hits. Might not seem too bad until you remember this option. And if I go for the there's another guard break. Come on, train. If I go for the 4A, she just absolutely wrecks me there. But if I go for the B6, I get the counter hit. B6 also covers the side roll, so it covers every single one of the 2288K options. Whereas AGA and 4A risk whiffing and getting lethal hit even, and AGA only works if you basically it only works if she does a follow-up. And only if she does certain follow-ups. So it's kind of a risk to hope you're going to get the lethal hit punish there. I'm rambling, sorry. Heavy burden. So she has a low that goes into a really similar kick that's 0. This is actually -4, I think, so you can try and go for something. But do that at your own risk, because Taki has a 10 frame AA, so even at -4, so you get put in crouching state, right? So that's 14, so that would trade. It's kind of annoying. If you want, I will show you. What is that? 4K AA will be the string. So 4K right. Super annoying. You can't do... Oh, hey, it actually does win. Maybe that's not really 10 frames. I feel like you may have lied to me. The supposedly 0 frame other one might be slightly plus. Because... what's the other? Sorry. There it is. So... 5K is 12 frames, but loses in this supposedly 0 frame situation. Take that as you will. Maybe the one I just showed you is actually -6. Not completely sure. In any case, if you do that and she doesn't do a follow-up, you're just gonna get blocked and punished. So, not the best situation anyway. Which is why, step instead of blocking. All that rambling to show a very simple answer, huh? But in all seriousness, Taki's 5A is stupid fast. This is a forward tech, it does a ton of damage. But yeah, if she runs at you and then grabs, get ready for the forward tech. I think she does have a back throw special grab now though, maybe. It's just not in the command list properly or something. And then the running low is the same as every other running low, but Taki's special, so on hit she gets a follow-up. Not much to it other than that. Throws, right? So, yeah, she has standard throw, back throw, side throw, or backwards throw and back throw, that is. And then she has the forward throw we just showed you. But the one they added is during possession. At least I think it was an ad. Either way, during possession she now has both a regular throw and a back throw. The training description is wrong. See, it says direction other than back, but when she uses Return of the Sun...
Ready?
Forward tech doesn't work.
Ready?
Back tech works.
Ready? What?
That's... I mean, you can figure that on your own, but that's something that's important to note.
Ready?
And Bow Breaker is a front escape. Not much else to cover in throws, just wanted to point out really quick that a lot of people complained on launch, hey, all her throws are tech forward, so what's even the mix-up? Now she has one. Alright, so the answer to my earlier statement, Taki's 8-way run attacks that had possession cancels, those were like at least -6. So you're good there. Going into special moves, starting with possession. Taki has so many different special moves that it's actually really frustrating to try and even remember them all at once. But to make it simpler, out of possession, which is like the glowy purple stance, you can answer almost everything by either taking one step and then blocking, one step to the side that is, or just going straight into base hold, and then getting ready for base hold K. Like so.
Ready?
Oops.
Ready?
So this is the reason you only take one step.
Ready?
You gotta be
Ready?
really quick on your feet to
Ready?
pull that off.
Ready?
So otherwise you just get run countered.
Ready?
But if you do pull it off and block, you get, as we showed earlier,
Ready? Ready?
a 16 frame punish.
Ready? Ready?
But if you just go for the base hold, it'll whiff altogether. That particular button I feel like is mainly used for kind of frame trap tactics using possession, so I don't know how much you'll see it as a mix-up by itself. It can also go back into possession,
Ready?
which is why I don't know about
Ready?
your
Ready?
plan being to block the basic stance.
Ready?
Just take this step,
Ready?
or
Ready?
if you base hold, that makes it irrelevant. Either way, both of those options still work on that one. Then you got Scroll of Darkness.
Ready?
This one I think is a K punish.
Ready?
Right?
Ready?
But if you do
Ready? What?
this, you get a parry. That's why you don't use crouch, because then you'll
Ready?
get hit. But
Ready? What?
base hold both left and horizontal
Ready?
parries.
Ready?
And then yeah, if you try the step and block tactic here, it's just a kick.
Ready?
I should
Ready?
probably see. Demonstrating that 14 frames doesn't work. She can cancel into stock her out of that, but
Ready?
if it whiffs, or if she gets parried, that doesn't matter. And if you kick punish,
Ready?
it just anti-airs her. Really frustrated that I haven't found a single combo out of that, by the way.
Ready?
She really flies up in the air when you kick her.
Ready?
So then there's Storm Scroll.
Ready? Ready?
Kinda just,
Ready?
I don't know what to call that, maybe a neutral situation if you block.
Ready?
So, not a bad answer, not a great answer either. And of course, if you do this,
Ready?
you
Ready?
kinda end up flying away into nowhere. So, you want to do it before she gets the second hit, if possible. Just,
Ready?
oops, sorry.
Ready?
But it's pretty immediate to get an actual hit off this one.
Ready?
So then you have Dream Scroll.
Ready?
This is your disincentive for using base hold, pretty much.
Ready?
Because it's mid and vertical.
Ready?
This is also why you're taking her one step as a good option.
Ready? Ready?
Just take one step and block, she completely whips. Doesn't take any more steps than that. She also has a possession cancel out of it.
Ready?
It?
Ready?
She wants to go back into the stance, that's her prerogative. I mean really there, it's just a matter of reacting before she gets a button out of it, right?
Ready?
Possession Quake.
Ready? Ready? Ready?
And this one
Ready?
is probably your biggest disincentive for this, because
Ready?
it's safe,
Ready.
and it catches step if you're not quick.
Ready.
So
Ready.
it's kind of base hold and nothing. But it comes out really fast,
Ready.
so a lot of times you might find yourself late base hold. Then you've got Assassin's Purification, which is another one where both kind of work. Oops, I lied terribly. That's not horizontal. But if you take one step to the side, off she goes into oblivion, and you can just backthrow her. If you do happen to block it though, it's minus 16 at least, so get your lethal hit. This is, I think, also quite negative, but because she goes back into possession afterwards, there's kind of a limit to what you can do. You can kind of go for 5BB though, because it'll counter hit if she does any options out of there. And she can't block in time out of possession to stop the first 5B, so worst case scenario, you get a blocked second hit of that string. She shouldn't be able to sidestep or really punish you for doing it.
Ready. Ready.
Just showing, this is,
Ready.
if you do your one step, a back throw scenario, and obviously, base hold does not work.
Ready.
So this is one we've already seen, right? Seal of the Fire Dragon.
Ready. Silence. Demons.
Like before, make sure she hits the ground before you do your punish, and then just get the lethal hit. Then there's Matt, which is kind of oddly named.
Ready.
If you happen to block it, you can get Rising V as a punish.
Ready.
If you do the one step to the side, you can get your back throw.
Ready.
Base hold not going to work here,
Ready.
obviously. Next up is Stormy Skies. On block, this doesn't look like much. It kind of leaves her back to you, it appears, but you can't actually back throw her if you block it.
Ready.
Which is why you're doing your one step to the side and then block when you see the purple.
Ready.
Me being dumb. This one you get wrecked for base hold.
It's over.
She kind of has like the
Ready.
Kami throw, for lack of a better name for it. Then she's got a forward K, which
Ready.
looks like it should be punishable or something,
Ready.
or duckable on the second hit, but it's not. Obviously base hold doesn't parry kicks, but it will if you did your one step to the side. She can possession cancel out of it, which is nothing really good or special. Just
Ready.
still step to the side. That is negative on block though, so you can do like a 6A or something afterwards if you block it. Even though it's not punishable. Here's just a backflip. If she does the backflip, you can wreck her.
Ready. Ready.
This one's kind of weird because sidestep isn't
Ready.
the best answer.
Ready. Ready.
It's actually
Ready.
better to block it. Fortunately, a lot of the time if you sidestep and then block, you will end up blocking it and
Ready.
getting that punish opportunity. But if it whiffs, I don't know, go for like Ruby or something, because she does not end up with her back turned. Exorcism, this is an interesting one because it kind of kills both of the options we talked about.
Ready. Demons. Be gone. Ready. Demons.
If you do this, you better spin or something quick, or
Ready.
just
Demons.
base hold K before it's too late.
Ready. Demons.
And if you take one step to the side and block,
Ready. Demons. Be gone.
you might not be far enough.
Ready. Demons. Be gone.
Up close, it looks like you always do get far enough away
Ready.
though.
Demons. Be gone. Leave this place. Ready. Demons. Be gone. Ready. Demons. Be gone.
In any case, yeah, don't stay in a parry stance or blocking. You gotta move or hit her.
Demon, be gone.
I swear earlier I did get a run counter from Exorcism because it does count as a horizontal. But apparently that's only if you're caught in a weird position, so not too much to worry about. Just reacting to fire. This is a weird thing. But you can sidestep
Ready,
it.
get ready, slice. Ready, get ready, slice. Ready, get ready, slice. Ready, get
Block.
ready, slice.
I forget what the answer is.
Ready, get ready, slice.
I think it might actually be safe on block because of the forced crouch. Yeah, it
Ready,
is.
get ready, slice.
So you're going to want to get behind her.
Ready, get
Make
ready,
sure to move
slice.
forward to get the throw. Or just
Ready, get ready, slice.
cheap hold spin.
Ready, get ready, slice.
And this
Ready,
applies.
get ready, slice.
Oh,
Ready, get ready, slice.
if you base hold, you apparently screw
Ready,
yourself
get
over.
ready, slice.
That's no good.
Ready, get ready, slice. Ready, get ready, slice.
Yeah, that's
Ready,
it.
get ready, slice.
So
Ready, get ready, slice.
there you have it. The one-step guard is the play for Hover Lightning. And then there's the grabs we showed earlier. She's got a front escape
Ready,
and a back escape. And then
ready,
movement, you can kind of,
ready,
Stand aside.
ready,
if you're really quick, you can interrupt her.
ready,
Otherwise, on the forward rush,
ready,
again, if you're really quick, you get the back throw. But for the most part, all the movement options will leave you more or less neutral with Taki,
ready, ready,
Stand aside.
unless you're really quick thinking on this.
Stand aside.
And yeah, that wraps up possession stance. So moving on to wind roll follow-ups. These are a lot more universal in their answers, let's just say. So if you see the roll, basically just always sidestep a little bit.
Give up.
come, come,
I'm sure you recognize that move. You can block it, just a kick,
come,
or you can step
come,
and then
come,
try to get the back.
come,
Kind of difficult to do actually, but
come, foolish,
it's also an answer for
come,
this.
foolish,
You gotta watch out
come,
for the
foolish, come, foolish,
mini tech crouch there.
come, foolish, come, foolish, come, foolish,
So what you're stepping is actually the roll itself,
come, foolish,
not this
come, foolish, come, foolish,
horizontal.
come,
Sorry,
foolish,
tired.
come, foolish, come, foolish,
If you step late,
foolish, come,
it's
foolish,
just gonna hit you.
come, foolish,
If you want to be swag, you can try to go for that. But it's better to just step the roll and get a free back throw. I should mention,
come,
you can also just interrupt it. If you're really fast, you can interrupt this too, but most attempts to interrupt it are just going to get counter hit. Like so.
come, come, come,
So this, you're attempting to go for a back throw regardless. If you block the first hit, you want to step forward to get behind her. If you react to the roll or sidestepping,
Give up.
come,
another one you can just back throw. If you block it, you can get a free B.
come,
Basically the same thing on block.
come,
That one's meant for combo fodder, I'm pretty sure.
come,
So it's a double roll if she does the kick follow-up.
Give up.
You really have to chase her on this one.
Give up.
Possession stance is possession stance.
Give up.
Sorry, distracted for a second. Yeah, all of those, with the notable exception of Gunpowder Plot, can also be hit with the 3A. But in Gunpowder Plot specifically, you have to sidestep, and that's why I suggest just always reacting to the roll with the sidestep. Your main threat is obviously going to be Silent Killer here. You do have time to react and get behind her. So Distorted Breeze, this one is even simpler. Just, you have two options. Option A is to 3A when you see the roll. That'll just swat her. Option B is to go into base hold. And that works on basically everything but nothing, as it were. If she just blocks out of the roll, you have to attack pretty early out of base hold. Careful with that. Base hold K is a stance punish because it itself is punishable on block. Anyway, moving on. The reason you would use base hold is to get these lethals. But 3A works just as well. She has the same thing but in the other direction. Again, 3A works fine, but you get the lethal into base hold. Obviously it's different with damage. Then there's this one. Like the others, 3A works fine. If you base hold in reaction though, you're gonna have to react to the impact flash with Chief Hold. And that also gets you a lethal hit, but not the same one. As you can see, you do have time, to react to the green flash and Chief Hold. You might not always get behind her if you react late, but you can just go for a regular Chief Hold B follow-up if that's the case. Still a bit more damage than a 3A combo. Sorry, I got distracted.
Time to die. Time to die.
So with this one, as soon as you see the legs go over your head, you want to go for the B, but not before, or you'll get counter hit. Or, just like everything else, 3A works fine. She has a version of this that you may recall from regular moveset. And accordingly, if you happen to block it, you can do that. But why would you do that when you can just 3A or base hold? Oops, sorry. The less you have to guess when she's throwing stances out, the better, right? So, yep. Oh, don't press it early. So, there's the risk with base hold, is if you're off angle, you can end up getting Chief Hold instead.
Come.
So she can actually double roll. That's what you're seeing there. Sorry, not being a good demonstrator. That one's literally just a stance. Now Stalker. This is the whoo, right? When she's not canceling into it out of anything, you can't really get punished by using AGA. But if you time it right, you can still at least knock her down. Or you can react to the jump itself and foray her sometimes. But if possible, just go for a back throw. She does orient towards you, so if she gets over your head, you're not going to get that back throw. But I think it's kind of rare for her to just hop over your head and let you get a grab mix-up or an AGA. Usually she's going to be doing one of the follow-ups. So this is one where she stays back turned after she flies over your head. What that's meant for is for landing oriented toward you, like so. She also has kind of sideways ones. I'd say always react to those with AGA. If she lands, that is, at least. It's gonna stop her from going into Stalker or something like that. Or sorry, going into possession. So she has an A follow-up, but if you block it, you can just wreck her. As you saw, that does tech crouch though, which gets her out of this, the follow-up. So the B version, or sorry, the punish to the B version is just running under when she hops up and then getting that free back throw. This is, Stalker Blade is just kind of there to discourage. If you run forward, you won't get a proper punish. That's all I can think. I'm making that up, but that's the only purpose I've seen it used for. Other than maybe combos I don't remember or know about. So this too is lethal punishable. And if she goes over your head, you can back throw her. So very high risk for her to do that. But it'll catch trying to sidestep, which is why you want to either run forward or block when you see Stalker. She does have a possession follow-up instead of the horizontal. It is what it is. If she misses, you can still back throw her. That won't really combo, so if you do get in this situation, it's kind of a rising B punish, maybe. She might be able to interrupt you there, so if you want to play it safe. I think she might still be able to get you with an A follow-up. No, the 10 frame is her regular 5A, not Stalker 5A, sorry. And then the last one is Stalker Drop, which is a throw that only works out of combos pretty much. If you look closely, you can see the...
No escape.
There we go. 4-4B does jump high enough to get caught by it, but even then it's inconsistent. So most of the time she does that, it's just going to look like a random Stalker whiff. And whiff punish with whatever you have that whiff punish as well, right? Alright, I'm aware that I'm not doing a good job switching between stages for each category this time, but next up is gauge moves and then bedtime. Also, I've just kind of realized that Taki doesn't really have a stage in this game. Last but not least, rounding out Taki's moveset, we have her gauge attacks. I hate Taki's critical edge, I just want to say that.
This is as far as you go.
That's what you get if you try to punish it normally.
This is as far as
But,
you go.
fortunately, Siegfried has a uniquely good punish option for this specific attack. Because your auto-GI
This is as far as you go.
will parry her critical edge. And the problem is if you mistime it a bit.
This is as far as you go.
I'm trying to demonstrate. There we go. See? Right through the egg. In a game where supers aren't invincible, the character that teleports through your attacks can be really annoying. So anyway. Focus and release.
Leave this place.
So she gets a bomb after her AA string, and it's actually the same bomb mix-up as the previous one. The problem is, now this is completely safe, even if you crouching block it.
Leave this place.
I mean, that kind of sucks. Yay, free mix-up because I have meter. Although honestly,
Leave this place.
taking that hit's not too bad. Then you have this. It's that little purple horizontal slash. It's the very same highest 12 purple slash we've been seeing right along. Cancel it to possession just like she has been able to. So keep an eye out for that and be ready to punish it with your kick as always. The 6A mix-up that you've already seen is now a lot scarier. Because if you block it, she's plus. If you don't block it, she gets a launcher. But you can sidestep, so you do sidestep like one-step block technique to avoid the horizontal mix-up.
Give up.
And if she goes for this whole edge follow-up, she's wide open.
Give up.
I would not recommend trying to interrupt because that whole thing is a combo. So her rising A string is super annoying now. I legitimately don't know if there is an answer. It's horizontal mid out of the jailing string. Yeah. Pretty good. And it's plus. And it's guard break, so you can't really GI it. You actually have to GI the while rising piece, or remember I was saying a long time ago, if you feel like a god, you can go for the AGI there. Honestly, that's probably your best option in this particular case. Oops. Time to focus and release.
Focus.
Sorry if my voice has been annoying this whole time, by the way. I'm like half asleep and kind of mumbling, I know. Where were we here?
And release. Ninja cannon.
So, it shows that AGA can be a response to the launcher. It'll still work here.
Ninja cannon.
You also have
Ninja cannon.
a weird little spin in the bomb this time, which makes it even more obvious. She doesn't, as far as I know, have the little mix-up chop out of this one, so you can always jump it if it's coming out of, out of her 3B. This is the same sort of, but if you do the 3B early, she's actually in some kind of weird inborn state there. So you have to actually wait till she gets to you before you try to launch her. Just like before, she can just cancel straight into possession though.
Ready? Ready?
Projectile itself is better.
Ready? Ready?
And she can cancel directly into possession without even throwing the projectile, just like before as well.
Let me pass. Let me pass. Let me pass.
Just a vertical card break, right? Nothing super
Let me
special.
pass.
As you can see, there is a better way to step it.
Let me pass.
Give up.
Stepping
Let me pass.
this way,
Give up.
or counterclockwise, gives you an easy back throw. Stepping clockwise, not so
Let me
much.
pass.
You really have to continue moving. AA has the annoying mix-up as well. 6-6 AA rather.
Leave this place.
So you can try to jump the bomb and feel smart,
Leave this place.
but she has the little chop
Leave this place.
knock you out of the air. It's really annoying. I hate it. She also has a little -12 thing here. You'll almost always whiff unless you're against a wall or something. Or unless she's far away when it starts. Like really far away. There. It's still just a -12 chop. You can't even really duck it because it's actually whipping before you duck it. That I just showed. Just like before, she can gain the possession out of it, and like I said, it's actually just the same move. This is just a new cancel into it. The point of that string is basically just to do chip damage more so than anything else. You do have to duck though when she's running toward you. You have even more time to just launch her. Wonder if you can get a counter hit there. Yep. Unfortunately, you still can't get the counter hit easily though. So, be ready to visually confirm whether it's a counter hit or not if you go for the launcher there. Morning gods. This is scarier than it used to be. So remember I was saying, one step, block out of reaction to possession. Well, this has better tracking than before and does a ton of shit. You actually have to like keep walking. And you have to walk clockwise. Actually, that doesn't even work. Yeah. So good demo, right? One step block. One step block. I have seen this whip, I swear, but it doesn't want to today. It's a super firm move. I think you might have to start walking. Yeah. There it is.
Give up.
So yeah, you're actually not really reacting to the possession here. You gotta move late if you want to get your real punish. Nasty little move.
Give up.
Especially since she has plenty of decent horizontal options out of that stance. Now this one, I've seen Taki just blindly throw this out in Soul Charge before, and because of that I never even realized until I labbed it that you can straight up leave mid-ADA punish that. So yeah, if somebody starts auto-piloting for chip damage or something, just wreck their day. And finally, the very last attack on the move list that I haven't shown is the command grab in Brave Edge. This time, it is only a forward input. She doesn't have a Brave Edge, Soul Charge version of the backward one. So if you see that little Soul Charge flash, it's a forward tech. Always.
Ready?
You can also just guess that because she's in soul charge, she's going to go for this one more often, thanks to the buff, or improved damage, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's Taki. That's the whole matchup. It's a pain. 10 frame normals bully Sig. Her soul charge is kind of wild. But you have a huge range advantage, and people still claim Taki's bad, so take it as you will. Thanks to those who somehow watched the whole video, and I'll be back with another character soon.